Now that we have an audience with contacts, we can test how to send campaigns, how to send a newsletter. So to send your campaign, your newsletter, when you're on the homepage of the Mailchimp dashboard, you can click there to create a campaign. You can click there to create an email, and you'll choose the type of email that you want to create. You can also come in here under campaigns. You can see I don't have any campaigns, but I can create one. So since most of the times you're going to land on the homepage, just click on home and then click on create email. And we're going to create a quick one, a short one, and send it. So you can go with the basic layout. You can start from scratch. This is where you select a template. And earlier on, there's a template we designed. So if that's the one you want to use, or rather, there's a template we edited. And if it so happens that's the one you want to use, you can click there on saved templates and you're going to select it. I'm going to click from scratch. And I can design my template. The logo has already been replaced with my branding. So here as well, I don't want to overthink. So what am I going to do? I'm going to bring in my creative assistant that I designed earlier. So I'm going to click on more. I'm going to go to design library. Design prior to that. No, I'm just going to select all the original designs. And I can select one from here. I can just use any. So to use it, select there and then insert. This cannot be edited, but it's already pre-designed. And then I'll click on done. Click on done again, and I will add a spacer there. I'll add 70px. Here I can add an image, browse image, and I can just use one of these GIFs. Giphy. Let's use that. Insert. And I can add a paragraph in between here. So for the paragraph, maybe I can type, "Thank you for joining the Bizanosa email list." And that's it. I don't want to type a lot. I don't want to send a lot. That's it. So you can also get some recommendations here. If you click there on optimize, add a link to your logo. So it's going to give you that, and you can apply that. Make images clickable. That as well. Apply that, and then done. There are no merge tags. So let's see if I can add a merge tag. And to add a merge tag, you're going to need a paragraph. You're going to need the paragraph block. So let's say I want to say hi. And when I'm there, I'm going to click up there on merge tags. And we can add the first name. You know what? We can also add the last name. Click there and add the last name. And we're going to see if it's going to actually replace the details as it should. Say that's all that I want to send, okay? Of course, in a real situation, make sure you design your email with the intended information. As well, I can add a button. So let's add a button there. I'll add a link. And I wish they should add a default link. They should add a default link. maybe to your website or whatever you choose. In this case, let me use this. Paste, open in a new tab. The button as well, I can click on it and I'll say visitors. Under styles, I will change the button color. So the color, I want it to be that color. Click on done. And then for the border, I don't want a border. So I'll click none. And that's it for the style. For the style, I'll just choose round. You can also choose this, which will make it look like a pill, which will make it look like that, or a square, but I'll go with round. That should be it for this. Even before you send or you get out of this, you can always save this as a template that you can use in future. So I'll click there, save as a template, and I'll call this sample 1. Sample 1. And then save. Return to campaign. So even before you save and continue, you can send yourself a test email to see what it's going to look like. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to save and exit. And the content is okay. The from, you can change it, but remember, these are things you can set in your audience settings. Subject, of course, you need to change the subject settings. I'll just say welcome, welcome home. And then the preview text, you can also generate with this. Friendly. So once you generate the titles, you can apply whichever one you like. So let me select that, welcome home. We're glad you're here. I'll save that. Send time. We want to send it now and save, but you can also schedule to send it later. So that should pretty much do it for our campaign. Do I need to change this? These are the same settings I have on my email campaign. So the default option is okay. So it seems like if you use a Gmail, they'll do that. But this is what I was telling you. I just did this intentionally because this account is just for this tutorial. But in a real marketing situation, make sure you use your domain, your email domain. If you don't have an email domain, you can go to Cloudflare and redirect a domain to your Gmail account. And that, I believe, should also work well. So just go to Cloudflare and then here, email, routing, come here to email, and then you can add an email. So I already have, but for whichever domain you're on, you can add. So I can create an address. I can still add your domain to Cloudflare. Any domain you have, add it to Cloudflare, and then under email, add a domain, redirect it to Gmail. And I believe that one as well should work. That is, if you don't have a mail server somewhere. So this should pretty much be it. And I can click on send. If there's any error, it's going to tell me you're about to send an email to 7 subscribers. So this was already selected for me, but you can select if you want to send to all subscribers. If you have segments, you can select a segment. You can send to your tags. If you want to send to some part of the tag, all in all, you can send to a tag, you can send to a segment, you can send to pre-built segments. So pre-built segments are things like this that Mailchimp automatically marks for every subscriber. You can paste the contacts manually. So this is important, and that's why I was looking for it. A target segment, And I will do this at some point just later, maybe 1 or 2 videos from now. In this case, we're going to send to all subscribers. If you don't select anything, it will send to all subscribers. And since I only have one list, it's going to assume that's the only list I'm working with. There's also a do not send to. Once you say select to all subscribers, you can also say do not send to specific segments and tags. So in this case, it can only be tags and segments. And that is all I'm going to say about that. And then I will send now. Nice job, your email is sending. There we go. Our email has been sent. And if you look at sent from, reply to that, but it was sent from this email from Mailchimp. Down here you can see your address has been added. They can choose to update their preferences. Update your preference. This is going to email them a link. So this went to the spam folder, and that's because it was sent from that email. So you can see why it's important for you to use your email that is verified. Update your preferences. So if I click there, I can update my preferences, name, and all the other details. So that's how to send a campaign, and it's given you a very clear overview of how you can send your campaign and what to expect. So if we refresh this after some time, we should see some metrics. We should see some metrics later on. Okay, so that's how to send your first campaign. You've seen how to do it, and in the next part, let's just finish up with audience. So let's continue in the next video. We're going to continue here with audience and create a segment, look at what this means, and anything else that we'll cover in that video pertaining to audience. All right, that's it. See you in that next video.